Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. We're starting our front page review with The Nation. Major headline, PDP convention. ASUU protest forgery in letter to INEC. Says National Secretary seeks probe of suspected cloning. In other news, government targets $75 million in Flutterwave's $250 million listing. And then, Senator, actress wife accuse each other of drug abuse and violence. Free Kanu now, protesters adamant despite police red alert. English math compulsory for O-level, says federal government, as Ondo youth seek sack of NDDC board member. So what story would we be starting with?
Let me start with the compulsory maths exam. So the federal government, they didn't do a 360. Because people said they've gone back on their words. No. They said that maths and English remain compulsory for all O-level students, as opposed to, the misconceptions flying. And I think only people on this table got it. Because, as being a prerequisite for admission is what we understood then. And so the federal government has said that the English language and mathematics remain compulsory for students sitting for the ordinary level examination. And they said that students must continue to register for the subjects in their O-level examination. Now, this is just a clarity as far as I understood The Nation. I don't know if any other paper carries it differently. The Director of Press and Public Relations, Omobori Folashade, said this in Abuja yesterday. They said the Federal Ministry has clarified that all students must continue to register and sit for English language and mathematics in their O-level examinations. That the policy does not exempt any candidate from these core subjects, but rather introduces a more inclusive and flexible approach to tertiary admissions. So instead of saying, because you don't have maths, you cannot get admission for certain courses, they're making it easier for, for schools now
if it is not needed.
If it is not extremely important to the progress of that course. So Governor Tuja Alausa also explains that, the reform is targeted to promote fairness and inclusiveness in tertiary education by ensuring that the capable students are not denied admission due to deficiencies in non-core subjects. So clarity is just what they did. They did not do a 360. This was the earlier stand. They reiterated it.
All right.
Okay, so I have the story. Okay. I have the story of they said the government targets $75 million in Flutterwave's $250 million listing. They said the Africa Unicorn, that's Flutterwave, is preparing to raise $250 million through an initial public offer, a move that could become Nigeria's most significant technology listings. And they have invited the federal government to invest $75 million in the proposed offer through the Ministry of Finance Incorporated. May our business reach that level that we'll start inviting the government to come and invest. So they said that
done it and this one.
Yeah, so they said that they are saying that they said that the federal governments they've invited them, but no concrete agreement has been reached. However, Flutterwave has already secured institutional investors, some of which are represented on its board, alongside new external institutional investors showing strong interest in the offer. They said they met with the president and that the meetings set things in motion. The president has asked them to work things out with the Ministry of Finance. And they said at the end, they said the Flutterwave wants to give Nigerians the opportunity to own a piece of the company. There are strong indications that institutional investors are eager to buy into the offer. Existing investors have also indicated interest in increasing their stakes. It looks like it will be oversubscribed because its potential for growth is enormous. Meanwhile, we know that Flutterwave is a payment processing company that empowers businesses of all sizes with seamless payment solutions tailored for enterprises, startups, and emerging markets. Yeah.
Okay, so here, well, it caught my interest over the weekend, and I thought that since it's on the headline for that matter, it says senator and actress wife accuse each other of drug abuse and violence, and the marriage between Nollywood actress Regina Daniels and her husband, Senator Nwoko, has come under public scrutiny, and this is followed by a series of violent and viral posts on social media, which both parties leveled different allegations and accusations against each other. In the video that circulated online over the weekend, Regina Daniels appeared emotional as she suggested that her marriage was troubled. In her words, she said she could no longer remain in the marriage, claiming that she has endured repeated incidents of domestic violence. In her words, she said, in Nwoko's house, I am nothing. But in my house, I am a queen. Not again can I stand the violence. It is too much, she said. But after a couple of hours, our senator also, who represents the Delta North Senatorial District, issued a statement denying wrongdoings and alleging that the actress was struggling with personal challenges. In Nwoko's words, he said, Regina was not always like this. Her current battle with drugs and alcohol abuse is the root of our problem. Wow. She must continue her rehabilitation program, or else I fear for her life and her safety. Jesus. And there's been a lot of explanations back and forth.
Did she go into drugs in the marriage?
Exactly.
So we are not good. Like what he said, that she has not always been like this. So we don't know at when did she start to do drugs. And you know, there are times that I feel personally that because you want to counter the fact that there was violence, if I thought he did violence on her, because you want to counter it, you must bring a stronger story to
like
say, oh, I was trying like drugs and all. So it has always been a pattern, but
it is not a hot
this
topic.
does not look good.
And it is still allegation.
It's still an allegation.
Between husband and wife.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. On the
Let me
bed
take
now,
the
they
story
might
that
finish.
is also a little bit like allegation, but the youth in Ondo State have demanded that the person on the seat of NDDC Ondo should be called back. They are under the coalition of oil-producing youth of Ondo State. About 30 of them signed a communique. They sent it to the president on the 15th of October, and their complaint was that their representative in the NDDC has not been responsible or responsive and is extremely self-serving. They said that out of the 4 job slots that was given, he gave all the 4 to family members. 3 of them were bearing his name. Like, this person is...
Tell me about Nepo.
Nepo,
baby.
So they said they should withdraw it. His name is Ehimore, and the 4 jobs, he gave 1 to Dayo Erimore, Abatude Ehimore, and Tayo Stella. They listed the name that he gave it to his people. And they said that even the money that he was supposed to use to do youth empowerment program with the area, they said they've accused him of diverting it. They've also accused him that he's not accessible. He does not, he doesn't represent them, and is extremely disconnected from them. Now, if he is supposed to represent the people of Niger Delta, if it is 1 seat that goes to the states, then they have asked that the president should look into it. I would want an investigation anyway, because we can never tell.
It's important that the seat is held by
someone that is representing them appropriately. So we're moving on to the next paper, Daily Sun, major headline. Kanu, tension in Abuja over Showore-led protest today. Police, NSCDC warn against protest, destruction of national assets and infrastructure. I beg, we're going to join the beg. Protest should not involve destruction of national assets. In other news, how middlemen retailers feel cooking gas crisis. That's from the investigation. Middle Belt Forum raises the alarm as killing escalates in the north central part of Nigeria. Federal government makes U-turn, insists English, maths compulsory for all students. We've taken that story already. There was no U-turn, just clarification. Nedu Konkwo, we've taken that story. Nedu Nwoko accuses wife Regina of drug and alcohol abuse. ASUU considers indefinite strike action as action enters second week without any resolution. Then you have a picture there. But what we will do is we will not take any story yet. We'll go on a quick break. When we return, we'll continue with front page review. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back, and thanks for staying with us. We're still reviewing the front pages of the paper. Currently, we are in Daily Sun. Who has what story?
So I have ASUU.
ASUU strike.
Yes, so ASUU is considering going on this strike indefinitely. They had gone on a 2 weeks warning strike starting Monday, October 13, but now, following the inability of the government to meet with them, they said that even the meeting with the deputy speaker of the House of Assembly, Federal House of Reps, has not yielded any positive results. And so they are looking at, Deputy Senate President of the Senate, Jibrin Barau, did not yield any positive results. And so they are looking at just Pukuma going on an indefinite strike. And I talked about going on an endless strike like the type we had in 2022. Dr. Tunji Alausa said that, they have met most of ASUU's demand. He said that they had released 50 billion naira for end academic allowances, the provision of 150 billion in the 2025 budget for the revitalization of the tertiary institution. And he assures that they are discussing with ASUU, but ASUU is saying a different thing. He said that they have 3 committees that they had set up in the past to look into this, the needs of the institutions, one for universities, one for polytechnics, one for colleges of education, but that was not an efficient way to negotiate. And 80% of the union's requests are similar across tertiary institutions and subsectors, while about 20% relate to peculiar career and institutional needs. ASUU, on their own part, are demanding a renegotiation of 2009 federal government and ASUU agreement, release of the withheld 3.5-month salaries, sustainable funding of public universities, revitalization of universities, and cessation of the victimization of lecturers in Lagos State University, Kogi State University, and now the federal university. So Kogi State University is now Prince Abubakar Audu University, and the Federal University of Technology, Owerri. And they're also asking for payment of 25 to 35% salary arrears, payment of promotion arrears, and for over 4 years, and release of withheld third-party deductions, including cooperative contribution, union check of dues, among others.
Wow.
And I hope that this one that we have read it out, we have met where ASUU has said what they are demanding. Let's see what the federal government is negotiating or giving them, apart from these 2 that the Minister for Education has mentioned.
Okay, so I have the story on the gas crisis currently going on. They said the current liquefied natural gas crisis, otherwise known as cooking gas, has been linked to the activities of middlemen, especially neighborhood retailers. They said over the weekend, Daily Sun uncovered the operations of cartels driving up cooking gas prices by hoarding supplies. These groups reportedly buy large quantities of LPG in 50 kg cylinders from plants and resell to retailers at inflated prices. They said that while those middlemen without any significant investment bought at 1,200 naira per kg, they in turn sold at 1,700 naira per kg to neighborhood retailers, who later sold the same at 2,500 naira per kg to end users, and in some cases at 3,000. He is saying that the national president of the liquefied petroleum gas branch of NUPENG, Mr. Ayobami, in a telephone interview with Daily Sun, said the allegation against retailers was simply an attempt to call a dog a bad name in order to hang it. But he, however, called on LPG marketers to see retailers as partners and not competitors. They said that they need to ensure compliance, and the minister mandated the NMDPRA to intensify monitoring of LPG depots nationwide to prevent product hoarding and other sharp practices capable of worsening the situation. So they are trying to make sure that the situation is under control.
Okay, I have this one that says residents send SOS, Save Our Soul, to Sanwo-Olu over construction of cemetery. And the residents of Natufe, Anuma Shaun, Bode, Thomas Surulere, Lagos mainland at the weekend took to the streets to protest against the planned construction of a cemetery on the streets. Wow. The aggrieved residents of the streets, neighboring communities and other sympathizers described the plan to build a cemetery in a densely populated but waterlogged area as a wicked and organized plan to exterminate residents. The protesting residents have therefore sent a Save Our Soul to the Governor Babajide Olusola Sanwo-Olu on the matter of urgency, as a matter of urgency, to come to their rescue and prevent total extermination of residents. And the placard carrying protesters with inscriptions such as Save Our Soul from untimely death, cemetery does not meet civilization, civilization meets cemetery, keep our neighborhood safe, no cemetery, we reject it in residential area. Cemetery is synonymous with rituals and killings, respect our opinion and stop devaluing our property. Want the governor to come to their rescue immediately as construction work has commenced. The chairperson of Natufe Anima Shaun Community Development Association CDA, Alaja Omolabake Animat Braimo, said they were out to protest the construction of a cemetery in a residential area. She said, "We heard the developer wants to build an adult cemetery here and one for children about 3 blocks away. We do not want it. Look around you. This is a residential area, residential neighborhood. We have children and elderly people here. We have schools, churches, and estates here too. Locating a cemetery will populate our land and will pollute our land. We are not using we are not using pipe-borne waters, and our source of water is borehole, which a cemetery will pollute." Cemetery, a residential. It looks somehow, I don't know.
It is
The
well.
cemetery is needed.
within a
But
residential
the
area.
outside.
Everybody's gonna die.
This one that sometimes when there's flood, Atogon used to.
Yeah.
But what you call it by it ní Abalende.
Let's move to another very, very
Okay.
important story. Middle Belt Forum have sent a letter out because there's an alarming increased number of killings taking place within the North Central area. This is specifically attached to the 13 Berom natives that were killed in Rachas village area of Barkin Ladi local government, Plateau State. The statement by the spokesperson of the forum, Mr. Luka Biniyat, said that the violence has been escalating and it seemed like the violence is wiping away ethnic groups, displacing people, and even religious communities. So he's asking that what is happening is not mere banditry, it is renewed jihad, according to him, and is erasing our people, seizing our land, and destroying our identity. He said that the ground has been soaked by the blood of over 6,000 people have been killed, 2 million displaced within Benue alone, and 1,000 murdered in Plateau in just the past 5 months. This is worrisome.
That is alarming.
Very, very worrisome. I had to take that story. Moving on to, excuse me, Vanguard. NSAS at 5.
Okay.
Memories, matters, unfinished struggles for justice. Why accountability remains elusive from lawyers. In other news, Nigeria spent 3.53 trillion on raw materials imports in H1. That's the first half of 2025. Serap to National Assembly. Account for missing 18.6 billion naira commission office complex. Name the contractors. Showore urges police to protect protesters. And Nigeria losing young people to suicide, advocates warn. Then, the final story we've taken already is about Regina and Nwoko. So what do we have that we haven't taken in a short time?
Let me do Serap. Serap is demanding that's it's 18.6 billion naira money meant for the renovation of the National Assembly that was paid in August 2020, that the National Assembly leaders should come and give account of the money. So they have written to the Senate President, of course, and the Speaker of the House of Reps to account for this money. They said that the money was paid out 11th of August 2020, and the contract was inflated to the tune of 6.9 billion. And the money was paid to the construction company on November 29, 2023 for the conversion of the roof garden to office space. And this contract has not been delivered. So Serap is asking, said they will be grateful that the recommended measures are taken within 7 days of the receipt and publication of this letter. If we have not heard from you by then, Serap shall take all appropriate legal actions to compel you, the National Assembly Service Commission, to comply with our request in public interest. I think that we should know where the money is, where the money go. How according to them, they are relying on the audited report by the Auditor General of the Federation and the National Assembly Service Commission to demand this. The National Assembly Service Commission confirms the payment of 11.6 billion to an unknown construction company for the construction of the commissions.
Yeah, lending your voice with Serap's own to say they should investigate.
These are
and
government
let's have
offices. If
account.
the book is not balancing,
then name the contractors. We want to know who they are. We'll take a break right now. That's all we can take on Front Page Review for today. When we return, we continue with the show. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.